Hi guys, welcome to another Tuesdays with Manj. And as I said a few minutes ago, this one's about being unapologetically yourself. Thank you ever so much for tuning in once again, first of all. And let's go there, let's do this. What am I talking about? I'm talking about not giving any excuses, no labels, no justifications for who and what you are, for everything that you do, for anything that you do. For as a matter of fact, I'm gonna start with a story, as always, a little one. A few years ago, I was with a child, little wise one, let's call her. And she was acting in her mischievous ways just before the age of 3, being her absolute self, mischievous. And she had done something which I can't remember what it was, what it is. And I asked her, I said, "Why did you do that?" And she said to me, "Because I did," with such a big smile. And I could only hug her. I could only embrace what she just taught me. And though that was such a huge lesson, and I've been reminded of it over the years, over the last 5 years, that very sentence has come back to me so many times. Why did you do that? Because I did, was her answer. And actually, though it's been in my mind for 5 years, I've only just started to put it into practice. So why do I tell you that, and why is it important for us to be ourselves unapologetically, to not justify anything, just to be in a mood, just to be in the place that we are. And well, it's for our own physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health. That's why, because you know what I'm seeing, and the reasons why I do these videos, and always I pull in what I'm observing around me, what I read, the news, whatever. And what I'm seeing is that there is an epidemic of dishonesty that's going on. And I don't think most people are aware of it. I mean, God bless you. Like, I wasn't even aware of it. Here I am thinking, like, I'm such a lovely and nice person, and, I do everything for everyone else, and, all this sort of lovely stuff. But I'll tell you what's happened to me, and I've gone to this in previous videos. I'll tell you what happens to me when I have been dishonest in my life. And that always results in a huge blow up. Now, there were years where it didn't have a blow up, and then, they started to come more and more often as I got more honest with myself. So I'm telling you this, let's get honest, let's do things and say things unapologetically, because that's our honesty. That's who and what we really are, and what's really coming out of us. And that's so very important, because when we aren't honest, when we aren't speaking our truths, when we're pretending to be nice, whether it's subconscious or conscious, what's happening is we're just stuffing things inside of us, aren't we? And we're hoarding on to emotions, we're hoarding on to stuff that then turns into physical ailments, and we end up sick, and we go to the doctors, and the doctor doesn't know why. It's psychosomatic. I don't know, let's put you on some meds. So allow me to sort of intervene here with you, and help you and myself, because this is an ongoing process, be ever so honest. And you know what? It doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, but if you are at first, you be the best jerk in the world, okay? I had another story here. There was a conversation that I had with somebody a while back, during a meeting that we had, and the person had said to me, there was an important meeting that they had to go to, really like a big deal, and the person asked me, like, how should I be? How should I act? And I said, well, be yourself. That's the only way to be. And the person responded to me, but I'm a dick. And I said, well, great, so be a dick. If that's who you are, then be it, and be the best penis on legs ever. Unapologetically, right? If you are a dick or you are a bitch and that's who you want to be, so be it. Who am I to stop you? Who is anybody to stop you? But my question for you is, are you doing that from a heart-centered place, or are you doing it out of self-protection or self-preservation? Something, along those lines. Why are you being that way? Because you know what, for me, I have the belief that we innately, as humans, as beautiful spirits, we are not mean. We're not inherently mean. We're not born mean. I just don't give in to that. So if you think you are, let's go, I'm gonna keep saying this. If you think you're a dick, or if you think you're a bitch, and that's what you have to be in order to get by in your day for the people that are around you, God bless you. As long as you're owning that, as long as you're owning whatever label that is that you're putting on yourself, hey, no one can say anything. But if you're walking around and it's and you have to be that way because of other people, you'll get more respect, you'll get more people will listen to you, whatever it is, then I question that. I question that. It's and what that leads to, I don't know. Like I'm just talking about myself and thinking about myself and the way that I've been in years past. When you're something that you're not, I mean, how do you go to sleep at night? How do you come home from all the others that you're being something for, that you've put on this mask for? Who do you become when you're no longer around those people? That's my question to you. And from there, the next question goes into, why do we do things for other people? Why are we pretending to be a dick if that's not what we really are? And actually, if we took all the other people away, if we took all of the others away, who would you be? Would you then still be that bitch or dick to yourself? That's the question. And I think we might know the answer to that. Not being honest will kill you, will kill me. And I don't mean to be a fearmonger, but not being honest it comes from a place of fear. There are two states that we're in. It's either love or it's fear. And my darling, I want you to jump out of fear. And I want you to jump out of fear by being honest to yourself. So again, if we're being something for everyone else, and you know that you know that you need to act a certain way, then do it consciously, right? I allow myself to be a jerk right now as I walk into that space. I'm gonna do that. I allow myself, because you know what's actually gonna happen in a little while. When you consciously allow yourself to be that thing for other people or whatever it is, you're gonna turn around back to yourself over and over again and stop being that thing for others and be the goodness for yourself. I don't think that you want to treat yourself like that in such a sort of negative way, right? So let's take away those things. Let's be who we are unapologetically. Let's be who we are consciously, right? And remember how to do that. I've already described it here, and I've said it in past videos. Allow yourself to be exactly what you are, right? And I'm going to go to that. We've talked about others, and in fact, before I get into going to yourself and taking the labels off yourself, I've got to tell you a story that that I experienced a few years ago. It's not something I'm proud of, but it was me at my best at the time. And very much living in a place of fear, being very dishonest with myself. So the story goes, a few years back, I was helping somebody who was in a situation whereby they could not do or help themselves. There was no the person could not work, was in a very bad physical state, and required help of others. Now I jumped on helping this person, not from the goodness of my heart, though I convinced myself that at the time. And what I can tell you now in hindsight was I jumped in to help that person because I felt bad for that person. I felt sorry for that person. I felt guilty if I didn't do what I ended up doing. And what all those things resulted in was resentment and bitterness and hatred. It didn't come from a heart-centered place out of me. It came from, as I said, guilt and anger, and all these sort of emotions that aren't nice. And at the time, I didn't know of the conscious allowal. Okay, I'm going to do this, but and I do it consciously. It was purely guilt and obligation. Now there's something. In fact, I'm going to veer off for just a second. If you find yourself the type of person who's like, oh, I've got to do this for that person because I feel bad, or I feel guilty, or God, like I just feel sorry for them. I'm going to go so far as to say that your feelings are coming out of a place that's not heart-centered. If you're doing things out of obligation and you're turning around going, God, like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it, and then you're bitching your way through it, we can tweak that. Okay, because what's happening there is you're just hurting yourself. As I mentioned before, when we're not being honest with ourselves, what happens is we hurt ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually. So let's be honest. And how do we do that? Going back to my story, forgive me, with this person who I had helped, not out of the goodness of my heart, totally admit that. We fell out. After all the sort of helping that I did, I cut it off. I cut off that friendship because I was so angry, and it had nothing, absolutely nothing. It still has nothing to do with that other person. So you see where I'm going with this. You see what happens when you do things for other people because you should, because they're asking you to. It's okay to say no. And it's okay not to give a reason. It's okay to cancel, and not give any justifications, no reasons, no excuses, right? And one of the practices that I've gotten myself into recently is to, and I mean really recently, because I've been doing this for a long time, being sort of the martyr, the helper, jump in and get things done at the expense of myself. So now what I do, when I'm approached with by someone who's asking me to do something for them, there are three versions of what I go through, or three phases, you might want to call them. First of all, it's an immediate yes or no, and that's exactly what I feel at the moment. I have no qualms about that. And then there might come the situation where I'm saying no. I'm not going to do that because, again, I don't feel right in my body about doing it, but I'm feeling guilty, or I'm feeling like shit. I feel bad that I can't do this for this person because I love them and I want to do it, but I just can't. So I go through the feelings of guilt, or what, sadness, pity for them, or whatever, and I allow them. I allow all of those things. I allow myself to feel guilty for saying no. I allow myself to feel sorry for this person, even though I know that feeling sorry for someone else isn't heart-centered. That is not the definition of love. Love them, bless them. I can't do anything for them, so I'm going to send you love. That's what I'm going to do. So that's the second thing. It's either saying no with all my heart, it's saying no and feeling guilty about it, but being conscious about it and allowing the guilty feelings and everything else that's coming, allowing everything. Or I say yes, even though I don't want to, and allow myself to say yes. I allow myself to go through the motions of whatever the person needs me to do for them at the time when they need me to do them. And in that time where I have said yes, I allow myself to go through all the negative stuff that's coming up. Like, I allow myself to, if I feel like I've been guilt tripped into doing something, I say that I allow myself to feel guilty. I allow the same as I've been saying. And eventually, you know what, all of those, saying no consciously, fine. Saying no, and feeling guilty about it, but being conscious about it, fine. And thinking no, but saying yes, and being conscious about it, all those things come down to, love. Because when you consciously allow anything, everything, there is nowhere else to go but love. And you come to a place of peace. Even if you're doing something that you don't want to for somebody else, you come to a place of peace. And then you find yourself, and this is through my own experience, what happens is the love comes. It comes, and you just completely calm down. As I was saying in a previous video, consciously allowing yourself to go through anything, through everything, and being so ugly in the temple of your mind, is a process. I know it's backwards. I know it's upside down. I know we've been taught to be happy, to think positive, to in essence pretend. We've been taught that there's the 100 days happy. I've got to be happy for 100 days. So come hell or high water, I'm going to push the things that are bothering me aside, and I'm going to be happy because, God damn it, I'm determined to be happy. Are you actually happy is the question. Let's be real. Let's just be so real, and let's deal with our emotions. Let's not band-aid them for any cause, for anyone. You don't owe anything to anyone except yourself. And going back to, being a dick or bitch, going back to that situation, if that's you, own it. Own it. You be that. If you're a nasty person walking around and you feel bad about it at night, you go home and it just doesn't sit well with you, you've got to drink to throw away your day, or you've got to get yourself busy in something else, you've got to fill yourself with some sort of whatever it is. If that's you, if that resonates with you, if this is the person I'm talking about and that's you, then just own it. Still be that. And I'm going to even go a step further and say, going to us rather than other people. I would love for you to look at the labels that you put on yourself, right? So if you're in a mood, and you're saying to yourself, I'm such a bitch today because I'm PMSing, or this is happening because of that. I'm in such a bad mood because of the people that I work with. And do you know what? Let's stop blaming something that's outside of ourselves. Can we do that? Can we make a deal that just today, never mind tomorrow, forget about what happened yesterday. Can we just make a deal that whatever you encounter today from this point on, just own it. Take away the labels. Let's do that. Let's take away why you're in a bad mood. Take away all the blaming and just come back to you. Come back to peace, because that's the only place to go. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it the end here, because I think I've said enough about this, and I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear if you are practicing being conscious and what that means for you. Someone said to me the other day, I had a conversation with someone. Now I'm not ending, am I? I'm gonna keep going for a few moments. A conversation with someone the other day who said to me, and I was saying, be conscious, because this person said, I just feel like this, and I can't do that. I can't be conscious. And I said the exact words with the person, like, I allow myself to feel blah, 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 whatever. There's nothing more that I can say to you other than that as a starting point to change your life, to absolutely change the way you see things, to shift you. Now it's okay. It's been a very, very intense week. In fact, it's been an intense day. I wonder if you're feeling the intensity of whatever is going on, and whatever it is, let's just allow it to be. I've been cranky all morning, and you know what? I allow that of myself. I admit that to you, and it's totally okay. Admit it to yourself. Tell me if you wish. Let's just be ourselves in all, whatever that means. And when you do that over and over again, we will become the people that we see ourselves as being. Because, as I said in the beginning, I just don't think we're meant to be jerks or assholes or whatever the sort of bad things we call ourselves. If you want to call yourself that for whatever reason, by all means, go ahead. Do it consciously and see how things shift. Your life will change. Now, there's two people, actually three people that I would love to thank. The first one being, again, Matt Kahn, where I get a lot of my ideas from, who I tune into regularly, talk regularly, who just is the guru of love. Thank you, Matt Kahn. There's also my dear Priya Sharma, kindred spirit, who started her own YouTube channel called Priology. Do visit her there, and she offers tidbits and golden nuggets of all sorts of things that can help all of us. She was the one who inspired me to do Tuesdays with Manj. She does her videos on Monday, Tuesdays with Maury came, then Tuesdays with Manj. So here we are. Actually, two more people that I'd like to thank. One of which is, it would be Don Miguel Ruiz, who's written numerous books, and the latest one is that I've read is The Mastery of Love. And I would say a lot of the ideas that came through today's video were from Mr. Ruiz. So thank you very much there. And also, very last, but definitely not least, I encourage you to put this song, the Song of the Butterfly. Check it out on YouTube. I posted it. In fact, I'll put it in the comments as well. The Song of the Butterfly, which is a collaboration between numerous people. Gosh, and I had their names and I don't have them right now. The video was done beautifully, equally as beautiful as the music, by Jerry Dodge, I believe his name is. Included in the musical collaboration is Estas Tone, and there's a few other names that I just can't remember at the moment. I apologize. I will put it in a link below. Please tune into that, and I highly encourage you to throw on some headphones, put it on really loud, and just get quiet and just listen to it. It exploded my heart open a million times over and over. So if you're looking for a little bit of a tweak in your day, if you're looking for something that's part of you, and music is a part of us, then do tune into it. God bless you. I thank you for tuning in again. Questions, comments, suggestions, please throw them my way. Lots of love to you. Bye.